In this tutorial, we are going to talk about various equations of motion, where we are going to talk about how to derive the equations of motions. So let's look at some of these equations of motions. So first, we have V is equals to U plus AT. Second, we have S is equals to UT plus half AT squared. Third, we have V squared is equals to U squared plus 2AS. So these are the three equations of motion studied under kinematics, which is a branch of physics that studies motion without analyzing force as a cause of motion. It's different from dynamics, which analyzes force. So these are the three equations of motions. So let's go ahead and derive our first equation of motion, which says that the final velocity v is equals to the initial velocity u plus at. This is the simplest when it comes to deriving. It's very simple. What you need to know is just the definition of acceleration. So what is the definition of acceleration? Acceleration is defined as the rate of change of velocity. And when we hear the concept of rate, it means we are dividing by time. So acceleration is the rate of change of velocity. So it's final velocity minus initial velocity over time. And from there, we just need to cross multiply and make v subject of formula. So cross multiplying, we get 80 equals to v minus u. And then 80 negative u becomes positive u is equals to v. And we just rearrange to match the given scenario. So v is equals to u plus 80. So basically that's how we derive that given equation of motion. You just need to know the definition of acceleration, and then from there you make v subject of formula. So let's derive our second equation of motion. Let's derive s is equals to ut plus half at squared. How do we derive that equation? So we first need to know the definition of displacement using formula. So displacement is given by this formula: average velocity by time. But we have derived our first equation, which states that v is equals to u plus at. So what is average velocity? Average velocity is just the sum of the velocities over 2. That principle of averages, you need to know how to calculate average. And then from here, we are now just going to substitute v is equals to u plus at into v. So let's first write our formula. S is equals to average velocity by time. S, what is our average velocity? V plus u over 2 by time. But we know that v is equals to u plus at plus u over 2 by time, and this becomes u plus u. We get 2u plus 80 by time. So from here we have to multiply all that everything in brackets by t. So this becomes s is equals to 2u t plus 80 squared, this over 2, this over 2. And finally, therefore, this becomes 2 into 2, 1. So we get ut plus 80 squared over 2, or we write it in this form, half 80 squared. So basically that's how we approach such an example, such a problem. You need to know the definition of displacement. Displacement is equal to average velocity by time, and average velocity is the sum of the initial plus the final velocities over 2. And then we make use of our first equation of motion, which states that v is equal to u plus 80. Then we just substitute into our formula. So let's move on to our third equation of motion, which states that v squared is equal to u squared plus 2as. V squared is equal to u squared plus 2as. So how do we derive that given equation? So let's look at the requirements. First, we need to know that v is equal to u plus 80. Let's make t subject of formula. T is equal to v minus u over a. And from our previous example, where we derived the equation of s, we once talked about s. We said s is given by this formula. So that's all we need to know at this point. And what's left now is just to apply those given formulas into the equation. So what is average velocity? Average velocity is equal to the sum of the initial plus final velocities over 2. So s is the average velocity by time. So what is the average velocity? Our average velocity, that's v plus u over 2. And what is t? T is v minus u over a. And from here we are just going to multiply the numerators and the denominators. So s is equal to v squared minus uv plus uv minus u squared all over 2a. So s is equal to v squared minus uv plus uv, we get 0, minus u squared all over 2a. And from here we can cross multiply. It means we are going to say 2as is equal to v squared minus u squared. From here we can just simply make v squared subject of formula. So 2as negative u squared becomes positive u squared equals to v squared. And finally we get v squared is equals to u squared plus 2as. So basically that's how we derive this equation of motion. We need to know the first equation of motion so that we can derive the equation connecting t to velocity and acceleration. And we know that the displacement, which is the distance traveled in a specified direction, it's given by the formula S is equals to average velocity by time. And then the average velocity, from the principles of averages, you should know how to calculate average, which is the sum of the initial and final velocities over 2. So basically that's how we derive this equation. Thank you.